All of them go to, someone goes to 7 in all of them, and then it just reduces on the other side. The longer the race, the less variability.
I should come back to this. I'll be right back. I said I'll come back to this. I'll be right back. But I do want to be in the comp box.
Hey, 6-7. 6-7 race, right?
He goes to 7, right?
But how was it, in the beginning it was 6. The other guy played John. 6.
Oh, Edwards was 5. John Edwards? John Hola was an AK 6, but he hasn't been active, so I re-rated him to 7-2. Because he plays with PCA.
See, that's what happens. You help somebody out, and then they want to know what happened.
No distractions.
You can comment. Yeah, come on, Christine. Yeah, this is a perfect match to comment on. You can tell us all about Ricky. What kind of cereal does he like? So what kind of cereal does he like? Fruity Pebbles? Really? With orange juice or with milk?
With 2% milk.
2%.
2%.
No whole milk.
This doesn't make for a good day.
I'm redoing the kitchen. I think I might do
Oh man, if he's gonna think this long, this is gonna take a while, huh?
That's how Rob is sometimes.
Oh yeah, this is going to be marble. I want that.
Do you like doing the play-by-play? Do you like that part? Is that your forte? Do you want to talk about what shot selection you would take?
Not in the slightest. I have a difficult time making that decision for myself, let alone for someone else.
It'd be easier to make decisions for other people.
It's been a while since I've seen Rob play, so I don't know if he still has the same style as he did in years past.
My dance is just the ass.
Whenever you're ready. So we're gonna welcome Eddie Balderas into the booth, our first finalist in the Lucky 16.
You want my ghetto impersonation commentation?
I want you to be you.
You want my Puerto Rican impersonation?
I want you to be you.
You want me to be me?
Be you.
Well, sir, then I will be educated.
Why are you laughing?
I've never commentated.
Where are you going? Why don't you come sit?
So this is like a wall. She wants to knock this out. That's her.
Listening to what he had said, like, 'cause there's like about a 30-second delay by the time it hits.
So then this is going to get hooked in. That's the laundry area. This is a closet. That's a bedroom. And this is her closet. And that's another bedroom. And by the way, my mom said if you
Wow.
But so this is
Certainly was a good shot there.
so the bathroom is like a bathroom, but I want to turn it into a stand. But I don't have a picture of it. I'll take a picture and first things first, I need
More food.
Hot food.
More food finally.
The hot pizza's just rolled in.
I'm glad our commentator's back. We're gonna welcome Trent back in the booth, and he's gonna take over from here.
All right, folks. Sorry for that little break there. Everybody's got to use the bathroom once in a while. All right, in the booth with me right now we have Eddie Balderas, the first finalist. Eddie, walk us through your match. How are you feeling in that?
I was losing weight. I was nervous as shit.
Now, we did notice there was early in the match you were kind of playing a little tight. You were kind of feeling Oscar out a little bit.
Well, Oscar's improved about maybe 3 balls. And last time I played Oscar, I think he was like a 4. And yeah, he was like a 4. And I heard he's a 6 now, so obviously he's improved. I give him a lot of props for what he's been doing with his game. I mean, he did win. He won the first game, and I was like, oh damn! Now I have to beat him. Like basically, I have to beat him 7-2, because if he gets one more, it's now it's impossible for me to break.
Were you sweating that 8 ball that he ended up missing?
Oh, I was sweating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he makes that, it changes the whole thing.
Absolutely, that's what we
Yeah.
were talking about. I was talking to Oscar a little bit after the match. I was saying that you kind of see it on his face after you missed that 8 ball.
When he
Before
missed, yeah.
that shot, he was free flowing, just firing balls, making shots, good positions, and then after he missed that 8, it kind of weighed on him heavy. He was.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, these guys that were spotting them 7-4, you got to understand they're 6s, and some of these guys are strong 6s in the APA. Like Ricky's a strong 6 in the APA. Sandoval's a very strong player. Even as a 6, he's a very strong player. So now, any 7 giving them in the APA a 7-4 race, it's like it's real tough. But again, this tournament is, like a lucky draw, so you're only throwing in $10 or $20, whatever you wanted. So you're only losing that, but it's still, you want to win, and you got to play the best that you can in every tournament. And guys like him that surprise you. I mean, he's really, really surprised me in how good he's playing. And Ricky too. Look how good Ricky's playing.
There you go, Ricky takes game 1.
Yeah.
So
Not playing good.
I know I've been wanting to ask. Maybe people watching also want to know. Slug racking yourself.
I never slug my rack. I've never done it ever in my whole life.
Okay.
I'm a terrible breaker.
Let me rephrase the question. Okay, I'll refrain from using specific terminology.
Pia.
The breaks where you are either electing or somehow miraculously the balls aren't spreading. Is there a thought process behind doing that?
There is, man. I got to practice. I got to put in some hours
Please,
to rack
please.
better, and so that way I can break better. Because for some reason they keep on just sticking. Maybe the balls are dirty. I don't know. Maybe the balls are just dirty.
Okay, well let me give you my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Let me give you my thoughts because obviously I saw your earlier match against Bola. You also did it against him too, but it was early in the match. So my thought process was, you're better than your opponent. Obviously, that's not the question at hand here. But the idea would be to jam up the game, make it more difficult, and you rely on your ability to clean up a rack more than their ability to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Is there any merit to that thought?
Well, I mean, the problem with playing guys 7-4 is you make a mistake and you hand them 1 game, 2 games in the beginning. It's almost, you're about a 90% loser now because it's so hard to win from that point. But if you can get it to where it's close to even, like a 5-4 race, that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, I got to try to win the first 3 racks, so I got to play as tight as I possibly can.
Yep.
I got to also, outmaneuver them, not go out for things, and then try to outthink them. And Bola was playing very strategic, and he's playing very great safeties against me. So I know that he's, an underrated player in the APA, but You know, he's a very strong player, and that's why it's not necessarily that things are done on purpose, but you just like maybe you got to play just strategically sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, if I just break, if let's say I break, every time I try to break and just wail on things,
Right.
and I leave him wide open, I scratch,
It
and the guy runs up.
did happen a
plays
couple
down.
times in Bow's match
Yep.
when you elected to blow up the rack. There was dry a couple times.
Yeah,
And
it's dry.
That's what can happen. Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed on the break.
Yep.
You know, the only thing that I do that I want another chance at the table. So
Exactly.
if I'm playing a lower handicap player like this, and these guys are not technically that low handicap
Right.
at that spot, it makes the race very in their favor. But in the same sense, you're trying to, make it to where it's a little closer race. I'd rather play somebody 5-4 than 7-4, or But like I said, Bola I already knew was a very strong player, so I knew I had to take it. I had to really be cautious with him. But the guy that really surprised me was Sandoval. I mean, he really. I was very, very, very impressed with his game. He's running out. He's very confident, and he misses. He doesn't really get excited or down on himself, and those are the qualities of a very strong player. He's not swinging, whatever. But I give him a lot of props. He played excellent. He really did, and he put me up against the ropes, winning the first game.
Yeah, and that was a great shot by Ricky, able to get across for the 9. I noticed it. I mean, your safeties were pretty much airtight the entire day, really, and that was really the only time where it wasn't. You gave him that one window, and he was able to make that nice cut on the 8.
Yeah, did you see that? That's why I'm like, I guess
Yeah.
it wasn't tight enough. I was like, who makes that? And he was jacked up over my ball.
Exactly.
He was jacked up.
Yep.
You know how hard that ball was? It wasn't.
Great run out from Ricky here. Makes it nice, quick, early 2-0.
Ricky shouldn't be allowed to wear a hat. He's not.
He's got all that hair back there. He's got a trap, though. He's got to kind of keep it up. And well, Eddie, appreciate you stepping in the
All right,
booth.
man.
Let me pick your brain a little bit. Good luck in the final.
Yeah, if somebody can show me how to break,
Yeah, we definitely need some breaking tips from Eddie. We'll see more of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, there you heard it from Eddie himself. Got to get a little bit of this thought process there. Gave some good props to his opponents, but ultimately he has reigned supreme so far. Ricky, by the way, is after a not successful break from Rob, Ricky was able to clean up that nice rack. And he's up 2-0. He's eliminated the spot. Actually has the lead now. But he comes up dry here on this break. So Rob will step to the table and try and answer Ricky's early success.
I can't do it like you. You're learning.
We got pizza? Oh shit. Can someone give me some pizza? Just sausage if there is. Just a couple slices. Sorry, it's getting to be about dinner time. Haven't eaten yet. Trying to get a little sustenance so I can make this final push. All right. Let's welcome back Gopal to the booth. After
Thanks for having me, Trent.
yeah.
Hopefully I can do my best Double J, Jeremy Jones impression. Well, you see, when you get these second ball breaks, it's not going to be so easy to break out a lot of these clusters and run out. I wonder if
Appreciate it. Napkin?
yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
I wonder if
That's good.
Rob is considering a safety here.
Yeah.
Probably
Trying to open up his cluster a little bit. Yeah. Untie some balls.
Now, he looks like he has some pretty free access to this this left-hand corner pocket as we view it.
Yeah, I think the 12 is the obvious shot right now is that's really his only makeable ball.
Yeah, but it seems like a little bit too much angle maybe to hold, although
Yeah,
he does have multiple balls.
Now, ideally, you actually would take this 12 off the 2 ball. You want to try and clear the path for your 15 and 14 if it's
for sure,
available.
yeah.
But he's disregarding all of that. He's going to go with the
I didn't
13.
even know he could see
Yeah,
that.
it was tough to tell from our spot. Now, like I said, he puts himself in a blocked position here. His 15 and 14 don't.
Yeah, but
I think this is an easy safe
yeah,
here.
it's
He's
easy
gonna
safe,
he's gonna
yeah.
put the 2 ball in with his 15 and sit behind the
Just
pack.
leave
Yep,
him stuck there
that's
in the back.
beautiful. That's beautiful. And
If he's really stuck on that 14, that's going to be, it's a tough spot to be in.
Yep. I think he can see the 4 ball. I don't think he can do anything with it, but
Yeah, like see the edge, maybe.
yeah. Rob's in a real tough spot here. Yeah. I think he called it in the corner, so I guess he can see the full ball.
He's going to lose the cue ball a bit, but he's going to go right into those balls, and they can be pretty playable.
All right.
Okay, so you could see part of it.
After that, the layout has definitely changed for Ricky.
Yeah, so the 8 is not nearly as playable, but definitely going to be playable in the corner. Once it clears these balls.
Yeah, the real problem ball right now is the 11. And with where the cue ball is, it's going to be hard to get there. The 12 is going to go in past the 15, but I don't think it will be clean.
Yeah, and then, then it could open up some access to that pocket.
Yep.
Maybe, what about this, call safe and just roll him behind the 9? Because he's pretty flat here.
Yeah, but
kind of difficult to do.
if you're short, you give him the 7. If you're long, you give him the 4.
4, it's true.
He calls the 15, so I think he's gonna use the 9 ball here. I can't tell. He's blocking my view. Yep, he used the 9, but he missed the 15.
But still, it's kind of really on top of this 4 ball. So
Yeah.
And the 7 ball really is just has trouble being playable right now. But definitely big upper hand, I think, for stripes. Can't wrest control of that corner pocket. And now the 10 is just a really big issue.
I'll see what
All right. After a bit of a thought, looks like Rob's going to be skimming the 4 ball, trying to send it down table.
Yeah, but with so many balls here. Oh, what's
Okay,
this?
what's the call? I think he's going to bank the 3. He's going to short rail the 3 ball, and then cross side bank
but
it.
you kind of looks like you need to be able to dig on that. And
The only thing
wow,
That was a beautiful shot, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful shot.
that was a beautiful shot. I don't know if he really did
Yeah,
himself any favors.
didn't really get a lot of compensation for the shot.
I mean, that's the problem. With every ball that he makes, he's kind of digging his grave a bit, but he's really scrambling now. I mean, maybe cut the paint off this one. You could go into it, but
I've got a bit of an obstructed view here, so I'll be watching and waiting just the same as you.
he's going to Can we go with
He does cut the 1 in. Another nice shot. It is,
Oh, and wow, is the 7 playable?
the 7 is 100% playable. And,
But just the position, though, the 4, he's going to have to take
if
another
you
tough
play a little bit of draw, you can roll that up table to play the 4 in the corner.
shot.
And
Just punch up table.
if you get the right angle on the 8, you can actually block that in behind the 15. You play it off the nipple of the corner. 8 ball runs into the
okay,
15 and goes in. So this is a doable out here for Rob. He just has to get shape.
I mean, that's why I think bar box 8 ball is such a fascinating game, So just really an interesting puzzle every rack.
Ooh, he kind of babied that. He might get away with it. He does. It just barely drops in. So now the idea on this 4 ball, you're going to want to play this with a little bit of topspin and just come up back to the center of the table. Maybe about equal with around where the 10 ball is. I think that's the ideal angle.
Definitely, and he's not super flat, and you're right, that 8 ball is playable rail first, like you said.
Yep, right off the corner of the pocket. 8 ball's going to run into that 15 and drop straight in. So the straighter he can be on the 8, the easier that will be to execute.
Definitely. Now, from what I saw earlier today, the tables were. The table wasn't really breaking that great. Was this the same table that
Yeah,
Eddie Valdez was playing?
we had a conversation about that with Eddie. That was, as much as he tried to deny it, it was pretty obvious that was kind of an intentional strategy. Wanted to keep the balls clustered up, tied up. And
yeah, I mean, especially if you're a good one-pocket player like him, and
Exactly.
You could move. Like, I think that's personally a really swaggy move because you ensure yourself a chance at the table. And at a level where a decent player can run out, like, why not?
So he was trying. It was a little off angle, made that much more difficult. He just didn't execute the shot.
And it looks like is the 8 on top of that ball?
The 8 is on top of the 14. Ricky's looking to see if the 14 will pass.
Now,
The way he's looking at it, I don't think it does. So we might be seeing some safeties here.
Now, okay, one safety is imagining is to clip one of the balls on the side rail, not the 10 ball. But just like kind of leave him stuck on the wrong side. And just with all those balls on the table, like he has options to make his probably unplayable.
All right, from further investigation, the 14 does pass the 8.
Oh, okay, so then it's really not that big of a deal. Very ginger stroke.
Yeah, the 10 is the hard ball here. You can take it now. Ideally, you want it to be a little straighter, but
Yeah, it looks like he had the wrong angle on that.
it was a nice walk down the rail. Nice walk down the rail. Now the idea is you play the 12 here
Yeah, and go
and
forward.
send the cue ball off the rail across the table, or you can try and hold this to play for the 11 next. You send it 2 rails. It's nice. And as we said, if the 14 does pass easy, this is a simple top spin position.
Just come on. Oh, looks like he's
Maybe a hair short, but it shouldn't be any problems. The 8's close enough to the pocket. All you got to do is just make this 11.
It's very available for sure.
Very nice cleanup from Ricky Torres here. This should put him up 3-0.
Yeah, excellent cue ball control. Kind of a scrappy rack, but
Yes.
nearly a heroic out. Almost
Very
made
nice
by
from
Rock.
Ricky.
Yeah, I left that 14 there because there was an insurance.
Yeah.
In case I got online.
Yeah, we couldn't tell originally if it went through, but
Yeah, I didn't know
saw
if
it on the
8
monitor.
because I
And
saw your initial expression. I thought the 8 was like directly on top of
I
it.
was thinking about where I needed to be for the 10.
Right. Yeah.
That was the key. Like I needed a little bit of
bunch of shit on there.
On the 10.
On the 10. I couldn't be straight.
Yeah, because you have trouble punching out on
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
I don't care about
That's
this.
why that's why I left the 14 in case I was straight, then I could just draw back and then
Then you could play for the 10 again.
yeah, then I could
I asked Eddie for
if I get
sausage
straight on
and
10, I can make the 10 and then leave the
Make the
I'm
14
trying to
chance.
do something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of break. So both players have been second ball breaking, I believe, on different sides of the table, I think.
All right, we got
Okay, caught those a bit on the Brooklyn side. Usually that break is played at a more moderate pace. That's why usually you don't see the cue ball flying like that, especially also if you catch the second ball and it lands and blow. But a nice spread nevertheless. And it looks like he's not hindered.
All right.
So we can talk about an easy first shot. And get the run started. Okay.
He came up a little short there. He's going to have to thin cut this 9. He's going to run into the 10 and the 14.
Is he, or can he just punch, maybe? He could punch, right? Oh no, it was thinner than we thought, for sure.
Plays it soft. That was good control. Didn't blow up the table too much.
Okay, so he has the 14 as some sort of insurance, but
Yeah, I mean the shot here is. I did before. It's right. It's just yeah. The 10 ball is the shot here. You got to try and drag this across. Try and hold for the 11. Yeah.
Yeah, with the 14, you end up hitting on those balls for
Yeah.
sure. So just punched across.
And that was kind of a twofold effect. Now he also opened up the 8. And scratch. Oh no, sorry.
No.
Hidden cue ball. Couldn't find it. My bad.
But okay, I mean, was it the worst thing in the world? I mean, it's hard to really tell. My view is a little bit obscured, but in terms of like a makeable shot for Ricky.
The 2 will go in the side off the 11, but that's tough.
But from this angle, I mean, it's,
Yeah. You've got
bank it maybe.
you've got the 6-3. The 3 is pretty close to the pocket to make that combo a little easier to handle.
Okay, for sure. You could also make the ball, just deny a pocket for that ball.
Correct. It looks like the 3 ball is the option here. I didn't see him call anything, but okay, so he could see it clean,
see it, yeah.
which we couldn't tell from here, but
Trying to do something with the cue ball, and it looks like he's left him practically straight in. Because this ball, I actually don't think this ball passes to the end.
no, he might be forced to take the 11 ball here.
Which, yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I just can't tell, like, running into the 5 though is the concern. But okay, he has the 14. But I don't know. You got to be careful not to get trapped behind you.
You play with a little pace and some top spin. It should be a 2-rail out position.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you end up with the 10 or the 14 next.
Yeah, but just make sure you don't baby this and get trapped.
Okay, so he came up a little short. He needed a little bit more right on that. I think the 10 is cuttable into the corner.
Okay, you can actually see this ball.
It looked like a bad hit. It's up to Rob to make this call. And he does the sportsmanly thing and admits it was a foul. But yeah, just hit me fresh.
Man, maybe in retrospect, it's better to try to cut the 10. If you could see that shot. But
I don't know. No, this is the actual.
So what do you like, leaving the 2 as the key ball for the 8?
Yeah, or the 5. 2 of the 5 is definitely your last ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. There it is.
Looks like he didn't.
We're sitting behind the table, so when players are shooting in front of us, we have an obstructed view on the table. So for anyone wondering why we can't see certain things, excuse me, that's also the case. Also, we don't have a bird's eye view of the table, only what the monitor sees.
So here I kind of like drawing back and just sacrificing a little bit of distance. But
Yeah.
it's
So you
probably-
go 5-4-2. 5-4-2 is the out here.
Yeah, he can just like throw it maybe a little low left, hit it full, just hold the cue ball up like that.
I kind of overcooked that one a little bit. You wanted to kind of just stop
Kind of
that.
one of those weird in between angles, though. Maybe a little bit more than what he wanted, but
Yeah, that one you have to punch. You have to punch it.
You have to
Try and reduce the spin. So now I think he's going to cut the.
I don't know, man.
You can you can cut the 4 and actually run the cue ball into the 12. The angle is there. The only problem with that is if the 12 gets near the 8, it could pose some problems trying to finish the rack.
I mean, I feel like if anything, he might glance the 12. Like with this, looks a little.
That's what I'm saying.
It
It could push towards the pocket or towards the 8, which
right. You could easily end up like on that end rail, but
Correct.
At least you're still shooting. No real playable bank here either.
For everyone wondering, this is our second semifinal match between Ricky and
Rob.
Yes, Rob. Sorry, I was looking at something.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that was beautiful.
So that was beautiful.
That was
He
beautiful.
able to run straight into
He
it,
did
but
get
still.
12 full ball, which ended up perfect.
Yeah, nice.
Eddie Balderas has already won his semifinal match against Alistair Sandoval. He is awaiting the winner of this for a chance at $1,000. And Ricky is almost dead straight for this 8 to go up 4-0 and take a commanding lead. And he walks it down beautifully. We have a 4-0 lead for Ricky Torres.
And Ricky to break. Now, I'm
And Ricky
curious
to
to
break.
see, so on his last break, like, I know Ricky, like yourself, is a staunch second ball adherent.
Yes. I will say, though, in BCA, I actually tend to like the head ball more. You get a more scattered break.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
with the option to select either ball,
Yeah.
having a more scattered break is more beneficial. But
Yeah,
because
but we saw-
making the 8 on the break does not benefit you in any way, other than allowing you to re-rack if you
Right.
so choose. But
And especially, too, it makes sense, like, giving up a lot of weight in APA matches to at least make things difficult for your opponent if you break try and, rely on your talent a bit. So, Capo's in a very interesting way. I mean, he kind of went below the rack area.
Stripes are definitely the choice here.
Okay, but let's, for an opening shot, though.
You-
Can you see the ball on the side?
You can see the 11 plenty easy. You have the 10 in the corner. It's going to be one of those two shots, the 10 in the corner or the 11
A
in
little
the
bit
side.
unpleasant cueing with the 10 in the corner, but
Yeah.
very makeful.
The only
Oh, but the 8, though. The 8
yes, I was just about to say the only issue with stripes is the 8 ball. However, solids with that 7, 2, and 4 all lined up on that rail, the solids are definitely not the way to go here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, with 7, it looks like we might be able to see that ball into the side, and if you can get like the angle to where you can hold it, you can go into the 2, and then the 4 is so available. But again, we needed. So I think he might have a makeable shot on the solids, but again, I'm not totally sure. All right, so he's going with the 10. I'm curious to see what do you think he's going to do with the 8. Ooh.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I don't see any chance Rob chooses solids here. I still think stripes are definitely the way to go. The only question is how do you get the 8? How do you develop the 8? Excuse me. I think ideally you actually use the 9 to
9,
get to
exactly,
the 8, but
yeah,
it doesn't look like Rob is
But even there, you're
consider
playing
that.
very short side position to kind of a very narrow area. But that's kind of the thing. Like to me, that's just classic bar box 8 ball.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what you have to do to get in all those small areas. But okay, so.
All right. I think he was trying to hold position. It looks like he's going to maybe save the 11 for his last ball, which I really don't know how that works for him because
Yeah, and even so, like the other corner doesn't look available for the 8.
no, it's not. The only way you can get to it is you come underneath it and play the 8 in the side pocket. But using the 11 ball as your last ball, that's going to be almost, I don't want to say impossible, but that's going to be very, very difficult.
If he can avoid, I don't know, if he can avoid the 6, does he have a 3 rail angle, maybe off the corner? I don't know, I mean, even... Actually... Can he perhaps clear it for this corner that is closest to us? I'm not sure.
No, I mean if he has to take the 15 here. I don't see how that 11 goes. He's got to take the 15 and try and get all the way back underneath the 11 again. The 11 doesn't pass the 2 to go down in the corner, so he has a
Right, so he sees it, but
very similar angle. Okay, so if he cuts in this 11 ball, he is either going to run all the way down into the 4, in which case he can then
playable into the corner.
yeah, he can take the 8 in the back corner back here. We did have a hit watch on that shot, and Frankie Ruiz called it a good hit. Ricky agreed. He thought it was good.
Nice to see.
I'm looking at the delay on the feed here, and it was incredibly close. I think it was one of those where you just have to go with the shot there. It was very close, but it looked like it was good. So we're gonna go with that. And as a result, we have Rob on the 8 ball here. He's eyeing up this cut into the side pocket. It is a very thin cut. You've got to play this at the right pace, because if you catch the nipple at any point, this 8 ball will not drop.
That's true. However, then still there's some problems to solve with 7.
Oh yeah, there's no question Ricky will be in trouble if this 8 doesn't go in, but looks like it is hanging up.
Wow.
Hanging up. It was a great attempt. It was a great little run out there. Probably should have been Ricky's run out, but he missed that first ball. And now Ricky's got to do a lot of thinking here, because any miss is going to put Rob in the win column. He likes to play safe. Let's see if Rob can make a mistake.
Now, okay, let's see. In terms of kicking this ball, judging by the angle, he might have to shorten it up with some inside.
Well, there is a lot of risks in kicking this too, because if you nick any one of Ricky's balls and then hit the 8 in, that's game over. So if you don't have a clean angle to this, I think the best course of action would be to tie some balls up.
Take some, maybe you could nudge the 2 a little bit closer, maybe create some sort of sarcophagus around the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think if this was my position, I would probably push the 4 ball 2 rails, maybe get it close to the 7, get it away from that side of the table, put it behind the 8. So he elects for your choice, the sarcophagus, as you call it. It's a nice word. I like it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was discussing this as a potential idea, column idea with the man that I learned a lot about, most from in pool, Larry Schwartz. And so he was almost incredulous actually when I said that. He's like, sarcophagus, and it just kept going on and on. He's like, at the end, Gopal, my my readers are pool players. Do you know what sarcophagus is? Just asking all these people in the room. So, but I think it's an interesting defensive device now.
Yeah, Ricky's in a lot of trouble here, because there's really no way to open up the 2 or the 7.
That's true. But you could also, so with ball in hand too, you could aim for a possible stalemate situation.
Looks like he's going to try and muscle this 2 ball in, which if it goes, he should get the rack. It's an open table.
Wow.
And he went for it and was rewarded thoroughly. The 3 ball should pass the 7. You play the 3 ball first. I think the 4 ball is the best option first ball here.
And then take care of the traffic downstairs. Just Gatorade 0. Anyone, yeah. Thanks.
So Ricky's surveying the table, making sure he maps this out, doesn't mess anything up. So I think he's going to go, where he's standing, I think he's going to go 5 first, and then the 4.
5 first. I can't tell if he has an angle to. You definitely don't want to go in. So I don't think. But
So Loading up for a little bit of draw. Yep. Hang on, hang on, hang on. He begs, he yells, and the ball listens. The ball heard his plea, and it hangs up for him. So there's a couple ways to do this. You could play a safe, where you just tap the 7 ball, which it looks like he will be doing. Maybe.
You just have to make sure the 3 doesn't leak out a little bit and expose.
Correct. Yep. No, he has second thoughts on that option. He's looking at the one ball right now. Sighs and despair, wondering how he got in this position.
Yeah, you take the 4, you're really losing control of the cue.
All right, so he elected to play the safety.
Yeah.
And it is
it's
pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good safety. Opens up the
productive.
7-3 much better. Forces Rob to kick at this.
Yeah, I don't even believe. I mean, this is like such a hard jump. Either.
There's no option to tie up any balls either. This is just, you got to go for a hit and hope you get lucky with the shape.
So I don't believe he's called anything.
Angelo, this is the semifinal. Eddie Balderas already beat Oscar in the first semifinal. So we are, after this match finishes, we will have a final.
All right,
Final two.
So that was a pretty productive shot. I mean,
It was.
We take away the corner pocket.
Took away the 7, yeah. But
now you could try to play maybe some sort of 2-way, like to try to cut the 3 and then run the cue ball back to
looks
him.
like another safety from Ricky. Ideally, if Ricky gets ball in hand here, he's going to set up behind the 7 so that he can take that and get rid of that problem ball for himself.
All right, now if you're Rob, okay. So it looks like he's playing for another intentional foul, but
Yeah,
Kinda
the
hard
problem
to-
is the 8 and 7 aren't lined up.
is that a little light?
He
No,
he
that's
achieved
good.
it. He achieved what he needed to.
All right, so there's more intrigue left now.
Yeah, if I was Ricky here, I would start pushing my balls down table towards the 8.
Yeah.
I would
So-
either bank the 4 ball.
But,
And
with
he's-
ball in hand, okay. So
He's going to get rid of one of his blockers, which is fine. You take some balls off the table. I think what he'll end up doing is making the 4 and then using the 6 as a safety ball. Maybe banking that up table.
And if you
Or
step
not.
on that
He's
end
going to
rail-
make the 1. Now he calls safety, so I think he's going to make the 6 ball, which is allowable in BCA. You're allowed to call safe and make the shot, and it
All right,
will still be your
see,
opponent's shot.
See, I'm not such a big fan of this because if he can hit the 8 ball full in the face, I mean, granted, you do have to get a rail after contact, so maybe glance the 8 into the side
Yeah,
rail.
I think Rob's going to come in behind,
This could easily end up
hopefully hitting the our left, his right side of the 8 ball, catch a rail, and then sit behind this. And this is all a pace shot. Might have hit it hard. Could get it. That is a good hit. That is a good hit. Very good hit.
4-0.
Now Ricky's in a little bit of a bind here. Jacking way up. Got a good hit. Rob does have a shot on the 8, but this is a very tough,
Jack up for this.
very tough this close to the ball. A lot of issues with if the angle's off, he can scratch into the corner, into the side. If he doesn't jack up enough, he could double hit, and that's a foul as well.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he could run to 7.
So he is jacking up. Cue ball will likely run into the 7.
Looks like Jack amped to play safe though.
Yeah, he did not indicate what pocket he was going to. Okay, maybe he's just thinking,
Just sizing it up.
just surveying. Now he's looking at the cut. This is a dead scratch, though. I don't see how this is not a scratch. And he does not get a rail. He gives ball in hand to Ricky.
Wow,
There
tragedy
was-
after such
yeah.
an intriguing ride.
Yeah, there was. Rob had his chance early. Ricky choosing an interesting shot here, making this a lot more difficult. Yeah, there you go. Cooler heads prevailed. I think the 7 inside is definitely the way to go. Little baby stop shot. There you go. And this should be easy pickings for Ricky here. Make this 5-0.
I mean, mean, I kind of want to say, despite the scoreline, like these games are pretty rich in fighting content.
Correct. They're definitely more, like you said, despite it being now 5-0, these games have been much more engaging than Ricky and Oscar's.
Yeah, for sure.
That was just a grind.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just kind of speaks to the difficulty and how brutal of a game pool can be.
Open it, please.
All right, it is Rob's break. He has got to find. Don't mind the animal noises. People are drinking a little bit around me now, so they're. Rob has got to find a way to get on the scoreboard, or this is gonna get ugly real fast.
All right, so last couple of breaks, we saw the players catch kind of a glancing blow going below the rack area. I wonder if maybe now's the time to switch it up to a more aggressive break, but both very staunch proponents of the second ball break.
That is a very explosive break.
Again, going below the rack area, but
Yeah, but
options for
I do like stripes here. The 13 is going to be a little bit tricky, but if you can play this off table right now, a little bit, maybe like an 11 o'clock English. You play this off the bottom rail, spin it over. He kind of hit it soft, but he also missed a shot. Now, Ricky can take the 13 right here. The 7 is blocking his combo in his nearest corner, but taking the 13 here is definitely optimal if you're choosing stripes, as you definitely should, because solids are.
Yeah, the 7 ball is a huge problem.
Yeah. Strokes it with confidence, drills it. Now this is pretty straightforward. You play the combo.
Slightly awkward queuing, but it should be okay.
And the ball's buried in the pocket. You should be no problems. There you go. Now you got the 12. Now you could set up for the 11 ball next, which he's taking a look at right now.
Yeah,
the problem is
with the 9, you're kind of going through some traffic.
Correct. Coming across, you might run into some clusters you don't want to. I think he's going to play the 9 now. I think he's going to draw this back. He's looking at where he wants his cue ball to be. Kind of telegraphing for you fans at home.
Good habit, I find. Like one of my favorite players, Justin Bergman, who coincidentally is playing a match right now against Fedor Horst.
So
he makes a habit of that.
He didn't get where he was pointing, but the effect is the same.
It's
a great positional shot. He can just stop this and play the 14 in the corner,
and even sacrifice some
or
distance
he can play 2 rail position.
Now this.
That's I think actually the best way to go is playing a low. Our left, his right.
Yeah.
And you spin this two rails and come back to the center of the table.
Yeah, just be sure not to overhit it. And catch close to the other corner pocket.
Lima. So he did play the 2 rail position, but he kind of took the shot for granted and didn't make it. Rob still has a lot of work here, though. He's got that 4-5 cluster that's might be alleviated with this shot, but that 7 is still going to be tricky, as this 4 is going to move towards the corner pocket. All right, the benefit of misposition on an open table is you have a lot of balls as safety valves, which he does have currently with the 3 in the side, 1 in the side, 1 in the corner.
I kind of fancy playing the 1.
I think the 1 would be the way I would go. If you play the 3, you have a chance of running it a little too far, and then you're forced to take the 7 or the 4.
Just the queuing is a lot less awkward on the 1, I feel. But like, okay, it looks like if he's playing to,
he could be playing a
this
safe.
or
No, I think he's playing a safe here. That is a safety, but I think Ricky can see some of the 14. He can't make this cleanly, but he should be able to see it and avoid ball in hand.
Now, in a situation like this, would you just try to lag it, just hit the edge and just freeze the cue ball?
I think ideally you just hit the 14. Now the only problem with that is by just nicking the 14, you're going to be putting the 14 on the back rail, and that makes it a lot harder to hit for future shots.
Right, for sure.
So he does play it with pace, which is good. He gets the 14 out. Next to the 1 definitely gives Rob some safety options in the future, but Ricky's 14 is closer to the action, so it makes safeties a little tougher. Hello. We do have another safety, but
All right, let's
once
switch.
again, Ricky can see the 14.
And has he tied a? Is that ball on top of the 8, or is there space? I can't have trouble to see.
Looks like it is pretty tight. It might have a tiny, tiny window. Tough to tell on the monitor. I'm not going to get up during the game to take a look at it, so you guys will have to judge for yourself.
Yeah, the 2. Yeah, but he does have the 2 available to kind of hold position for that ball if he can get kind of flat.
Well, yeah, I also meant from Ricky's standpoint, too. If somehow the 14 goes in, he's got to be dead to nuts to get, or dead to rights to get to.
Yeah, for sure. Even if he does manage to bury this, wow.
So he did make the ball, folks, but it was not in the intended pocket, so he will surrender the shot to Rob.
And some work to be done here. Looks like
Definitely. Now
but
that everything's kind of centralized on one side of the table, I think Rob's got to start going to make some balls now.
yeah, I mean, I find too, like, sometimes one of the most difficult parts about bar box 8 ball is when you have this mindset just playing a lot of defense, and
So
you have to recognize when it's time to switch gears.
Although Rob didn't call safety, I think he was okay missing that shot. It wasn't, if it goes in, great. If it doesn't, he kind of leaves Ricky hung up here, which he did. So
Yeah, now I feel like is he eyeing the bank?
I think
or is
Ricky's
he taking
looking at
pocket?
he's going to hit the 8 ball off the 4 into the side rail and then banking it in the cross corner. Woo!
Wow.
Hell of a try. That was impressive. That was impressive. Very, very impressive try. However, it doesn't go in. So Rob now does have a chance. He does have a chance, but like we just said, he's got work to do.
Yeah, the toughest part after, like I said, is switching gears.
Now I hate that shot actually, because leaving the cue ball there is, you want the cue ball in the center of the table. You need space to operate. Putting yourself on the bottom rail like that, you're forcing the options that you can choose.
I agree. I wonder, does he fancy the 2?
You have to at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he calls the 4. So this is a combo. This is a very ill-advised shot. If he makes it okay, I look bad, but.
Okay, got to draw it, punch down the bottom rail.
Okay, he hit that perfectly.
Wow,
Hit it perfectly. However,
Is he going to get stuck on this ball?
that
No,
is
he's
the
not.
problem with playing combos. Is sometimes you never know where they're going to end up. So he has
with the 8 ball so close to the pocket.
Correct. He does have the 7 ball here, which is what he's lining up for.
And it looks like the 2 is playable past the 8.
Yes, 2 is definitely playable. Nice cut shot on the 7.
All right, but again, kind of not making
Kind
it
of lost,
easy.
yeah, kind of lost his cue ball there. I think this is a pretty simple stop shot on the 1, though. You should hold for the 6 on the side.
Then go to the end rail and back. And then you can play last pocket.
If you stop this, you can
you
can baby roll the 6, and then you've got the 2 in the corner.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, he
With 6, interesting.
clearly can't hear what we're saying because he's doing nothing that we've said this whole rack. But maybe he makes it work. Another very nice cut shot. He's making this much harder than it has to be.
It's still a little bit out of line, but I feel like you could go to the end rail.
I think he's probably just going to roll this up, play the 2 in the opposite corner.
I don't know. I feel like. No, yeah, I think he could hit it thick enough to hold. Definitely.
All right, once again, he's lost his cue ball, figuratively speaking, of course. And
That's why I kind of like. I would have preferred, I think, to go to the end rail.
we have a very difficult close contact cut shot here. And he makes it rather easily, and it looks like Rob is finally going to get on the board now.
Yeah, they always say that for the hardest games to get are the first and the last,
And there it is. Rob is on the board with his first win.
very salty out, but continued to scramble. And
Yes. Huh? Yeah. I have like, this is my favorite print. I have like probably 6 or 7 of these.
What, the shirt?
Yeah, not this
I love-
exact shirt,
yeah.
but I've got.
No, that's swaggy. I like it.
No. No, we don't need to be doing all that. All right, Ricky blows it up. Let's see what we get. Okay.
Very surprising result, like to get all that many balls up table from the second ball breakout.
Now, looking at this layout, despite making stripes, I think solids are significantly better here.
Yeah, the 9 is a real problem.
Yeah, and with the 1-7 the way it is, if you're able to isolate solids for yourself, that's definitely the way to go.
Now I'm just thinking about though. Okay, so
So
solids are preferable.
you start
with the 2.
You start with the 2, then you can either play the 3 or the 6, whatever your preference is. Personally, I would play the 6 to come back for the 3, and then I have the 5-4. I've got the 7-1. There's a lot of options here.
Yeah, definitely. And you also have a 5 for the. Is it the 6 or 7?
So it looks, based on the monitor, it looks like he's a little off angle on the 2, so he might run into the 5 if he starts with the 2. So you have to play this accordingly, not to push the 5 into the 8 ball, because then the racket's a lot harder.
Yeah, but hitting it. Yeah, but hitting it at that pace. I mean, it's kind of a nip stroke.
Yeah.
I don't think he.
A little bit,
yeah, I don't think he really risks that. But you don't want to move it too far away
So
from that
he's
side.
electing to play the 6 to not move. He doesn't really want to move any of the balls, so he's just going to play the most isolated ball so as to not touch anything else.
Yeah, 8 will be playable in both side pockets and
Exactly.
the corners where he's.
All right, so he's going back to the 2 ball. He's able to avoid the 5. However,
Wow,
he
you
overcuts
have to make
the
the
2.
shot.
Overcuts the 2.
Yeah, one of my least favorite shots in pool for sure when the balls are that close together.
So
You're just
Rob has another opportunity here.
5-1.
5-1. Starting with the 4 ball, as he obviously likes solids as well. Babies that one in. Now I don't like taking the 2 ball here because your angle is going to be off.
Yeah, you're gonna
You're
get
going-
you might get trapped on the table. But
Yeah.
he's
He plays it really soft. Looks like he's got.
the 5.
He's got to go for the 5. I think.
I kind of prefer to now. Does he have the angle to go down table and take care of these balls near the corner?
If he spins it off the rail, I don't think he can play a natural.
All right, so
Yeah.
just
So I
takes-
think he goes 6 ball here, then plays the 3 in the back into the side. I think that's the most natural way to do it. You have enough of an angle off the 6 to come off the bottom rail.
Just play it for
and
just
create your own angle for
yeah,
the 3
play
in the
from
side.
below.
Yep. Yeah. After taking a peek at the 3, I think. I don't know. I guess we've been wrong on. We've definitely been wrong on all of Rob's choices so far. He's going to draw this back and hopefully get position on the 6. Kind of loses the cue ball again. He keeps leaving himself hanging. Now I believe he can still see the 6, but no, upon second thought, definitely can't make the 6. He's going to get forced to kick at this 7 ball. Or kick at the 6. It's a great shot. Did he get rewarded with position? There is a window between the 14 and the 9, however. I don't think he got there, so he's going to have to kick at this 7 ball. He calls the 7, so he's hoping to kick this 7 off the 1 into the corner. And he hits that absolutely perfectly. Now he has a natural position to just roll this one up, and you should have the 8-ball in the side pocket. 7-6. Just double checking his angles. Doesn't want to take this one for granted. From the overhead, looks like he's playing a little bit of inside English so the cue ball doesn't spin away. And he's able to hold it beautifully. Should be a tap-in 8-ball. And at least we're getting a match now, folks. This could have been a runaway. Things could have got ugly, but Rob's not laying down.
I mean, and even before, like, he started to get on the board, you know, we were saying that these matches were pretty closely contested anyway.
Right. Despite being down 5-0, the visual of the play didn't indicate a 5-0 score.
Yeah.
So there is sausage pizza? Can you give me 2 slices? I ate one and then I was like, what the hell is on this? Oh, you okay? I took a bite out of the one. I took a bite out of this one. All right, Rob back at the table with his own break. Chance to inch a little closer. He still has a long way to go. He needs 4 to Ricky's 2.
Explosive break. Oof, but finally we have a very interesting situation here. The left side rail, as we view it, and as you guys view it on your screen, very ugly cluster balls. Now see, I'm not so sure about this, but
Yeah, the cluster on the bottom rail here is going to be creating some issues later on here.
yeah, especially to break it out. No, but it looks
he can,
doable.
if he
maybe
can get completely underneath, he can use the 13.
Yeah.
But that's it could be a tall task to get all the way down there because you don't really have an outlet ball to help you get there.
Yeah, that's true. And also, like I believe it's the 10 ball, could get trapped on the side rail like that, sandwiched in between some of the solids when you go into it. You know, when I first started to play pool, any chance I could have to go into balls, I'd do it directly and as hard as I could. But then I realized, the error of my ways. Now, okay, Ricky here with some interesting options. Now, solids don't really look super playable to break out that cluster right now.
No, I think this is going to turn into a safety game.
Yeah, I think, definitely start moving some balls over there. Okay, so he went for it.
But
That combo now looks like it might go, but the 4 ball is still trapped.
to your point, though, there really wasn't an effective way to get to that cluster.
Yeah, that's why I was... But even then, to try to move balls over there, it seems...
Right.
Because you try to take over that corner pocket, he has balls to play off and just make those anyway.
It looks like he does have a little bit of an angle to take this 7 in the side and use it to open up the pack a little bit more.
All right, but 5 getting into some trouble.
Yeah, it does. You can still hit it from underneath, though.
And yeah, definitely also a rail first too should not be discounted. You could nuzzle the cue ball against I believe it's a 10 ball. Can't see. Maybe offers you some sort of protection.
But back to that shot, he did isolate the 4 ball. He was able to get it out of there. So if he's able to roll this 4 ball up, he could potentially be set up for the 6. Then maybe have some options with the 1 ball, but it's tough to tell right now. The balls are definitely gonna move from their positions right now. Tough to jack up over this ball too, by the way. It's not a guarantee. And he executed that perfectly.
All right, now this is where I'm wondering, does he play the 6 or no? He does play the rail.
So I think
rail
he's gonna,
post.
yeah, he's gonna just clip the inside of the 5. It was effective enough. He opened up his ball,
and
he
like we
really,
were talking
he really
about,
tied up.
protected the cue ball.
Yeah.
Too. It's currently like that cluster with the 9 doesn't look playable at the moment, but he does have balls to try to break it out. And meanwhile, Rob has to just find a shot here. Now, okay, this is interesting. Playing off this ball into there.
Wow. Oh, watch the 8 ball. Watch the 8 ball. Okay. Well, it was the right idea, but just lost the cue ball.
Such a thin hit too. Now, okay, so this is just playable in the corner.
Very much, yeah, very much so. I think he's gonna just draw this back a little bit, hold for the 3 ball.
And you could punch. So go forward 2 rails.
Ooh, hang
I
on.
don't know
A little
if he
unlucky to
wanted
hit
up-
the 9,
yeah.
but
Actually, I don't know. With the ball that close to the rail, I feel like they're, you know,
yeah.
that. But it's hard to
I
control.
definitely
that,
got just about all he could on that.
Yeah.
I think the one in the corner is playable, but you're going to be flirting with the 8 ball.
Yeah, unless you really maybe jack up some spin.
Oh, I thought you said Cubs. Oh yeah, no, totally cool then. You're fine.
Very nicely done.
Nice little avoidance shot from Ricky there. Definitely wanted to make sure he didn't hit that 8.
Yeah.
Now this is a simple,
No,
just
just
roll it
top
up
spin.
on the 6.
Yeah.
If you want to make it easier,
It's
you
very-
can play some top spin. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
just play this dead weight. Beautiful
Yeah,
shot.
Nice to put a firm stroke, and then yeah, of course.
Simple cut shot in the side. And Ricky will be on the hill after this game.
He's on the hill, and I believe it is Rob's break.
It is Ricky's break.
Oh, it's Ricky's break. So kind of what we predicted to be a slower rack had definitely a lot more of a violent resolution.
Yeah.
Rob very unfortunate to.
Yeah, Rob decided to
Scratch
try and
on the 8.
open that up, and obviously the scratch was worst case scenario.
I'm still convinced though that more of a moving strategy, especially maybe at that stage of the match, like try to slow Ricky down a bit, but you know it's kind of depressing. Like, obviously, you wish to gain it back quickly now.
All right, this is the
Scratch on
first
break.
really bad break we've actually seen from Ricky. These balls are
Drew it
really
straight,
blocked
yeah.
up on the side. Obviously the scratch. So, Rob is in desperation mode now. He needs all the games left, or he will be out with nothing, as all of these players in the tournament will be, except for the winner. This is a winner-take-all tournament.
Now, in terms of ball preference here, I mean, I would love to say the solids except for the 2, you know?
Well, there is the benefit of having the 5 right by the side pocket. You can use the 5 to push into that 2-ball
That is true.
area. I hate playing stripes here. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, because is it the 12 or 10?
The
Yeah,
12
yeah,
is-
yeah,
is
that's
really
gonna be,
bad on the
that's
rail.
jammed, yeah, for sure. I mean, unless he fancies like.
I mean,
I mean, maybe if he was able to get flat on the 10 and draw into it,
I don't even know
but I
what
don't
ball
think
he's
so.
calling here.
No, he's calling the 9, I think. On the side? just don't make this first shot missable, though. That's the problem. Like we've
Yeah,
seen that
you know, he's
mistake.
going 9 inside. I mean,
Really, it doesn't
you
even look like a
can't
full
really
pocket.
see on the screen, but he is all contorted on this shot. I don't know. That was a. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really bad decision. I don't know what the end game on that was. If he makes that 9 ball, I think maybe he was trying to open up the 12, but as you can see, the 12 never moved. I don't know.
Now the heavy preference here is, I mean, like I said, it would have been better if he could end up flat on the 10. You can draw like directly into that cluster.
Yeah.
And then you have obviously balls up table you can shoot at. But
So now Ricky has a decision to make here. He actually has.
I think that it has to be solid still, right?
I
Because
still think it has to be solid, just given where that 12 ball is. It's in a really bad spot.
Yeah, and then the 8 ball is going to be easily liberated.
Right. When you make the 5, not only will you move the 8, but you're also ideally moving that 2 ball as well. The question is, you don't really have a good solid to shoot at right now. You're kind of forced into taking the 3, and then you might run
Very
into the
thin.
14 on the bottom rail, and I mean you're just there's
And then
a lot of
you don't
problems.
want to end up trapped down
I
there.
think he's
But-
going stripes.
He's going stripes now. Yeah, we would like that if he. Oh, but okay, he could use the 9. Use the 9
Yeah.
to try to break out this 8 and the 12. But
Yeah.
all right, so what's the pattern looking like here? This would be a very salty out if you were to complete it.
I think he might try and use the 14 to jump up into the pack from the underneath. Yeah, he overran that one. He ideally wanted to stay high on the 9 so he could have the angle to run into the 5 and 8.
Yeah, definitely. And now
He can still get there. He can make this 11, run the cue off the side rail, and try and reposition the ball in a better spot.
Definitely, but we also don't want to start running out of ammunition now. Is the 13?
13
Yeah,
goes
13's
very
playable.
cleanly.
Yeah.
I think if he plays a simple stop shot, he will have the angle on the 9. It looks like that's what he's going to try and do here.
Yeah, I didn't think
Well,
he could have held that. I
Not
don't
quite a
think so.
stop shot, but he does create an angle on the 9. That's
Yeah,
what
but-
he was
Yeah,
looking
but I
for.
don't know how productive this angle is.
Yeah,
though.
so from this angle here, I see from a making standpoint, the cue ball's going to be coming in very thin to that pile. He might double kiss the 8. He might hit on the right side of the 8.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Still,
real.
it's trapped. Now, actually, I'm thinking maybe I just bunt the ball at the end rail and just leave the cue ball there. Now,
There you go. That's
Okay.
exactly what he did.
2 ball's still in jail now.
2 ball is still in a lot of trouble. I think that's maybe why
Is it
Ricky didn't blow it out.
Now, is it playable as a bank, perhaps?
No,
No,
because
not
now
with
the
the
8
8
ball.
ball.
Well, yes, actually, there is a little bit of an angle
You
there.
could bend it.
It will back bank.
Alright,
Oh,
now
wow.
go
Watch
first
the
that
cue ball.
side. Okay. It's a little problem that Rob has had. You know, you do want to.
that's what we were talking about. And he's got no breakout ball. Like this is. It does clear the angle on the bank. Like it's real tight, but it'll go if it's. Yeah, so you might use the 6 to set up a bank. Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, I think Rob learned from his earlier mistake and not make the shot missable, but also the shot has to have some sort of future.
Yeah, Frankie Ruiz, who's sitting just outside the booth here, said this is an opportunity to break out the 2. If you play this with a little bit of top right, you can spin this across the table into the pile. He doesn't do that. He plays it soft and safe. He's just kind of going for made balls at this point. Now he does have a safety option here, but the problem is Ricky's
Yeah, but we're
10-2-9 option down the rail is
It looks almost wired.
it's lined up pretty successfly. So if Rob plays it safe here,
Now, can he go into these balls from here, or is he going to clip the 12? A lot of spin.
okay.
Right.
I fully expect Ricky to play safety here again, just because of where that 2 ball is. That was
Now, unfortunately, you kind of probably want to leave the 9 like to where it is.
Exactly.
It is wired, but I'm not really sure what else you can
now
see.
you do have an option. You play the 9 and come down on the bottom rail for the 14. If you have the angle, you can push your cue off the bottom rail into the 2, and then that will free up. That'll
there's
free up
definitely
your.
a lot more room. It looks like the 9 is so much closer to the pocket off the screen, but it's not.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you just put a little
for
bit
sure.
of left-hand spin on that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You can get that underneath the 6, and then let's say if
Absolutely.
you're in kind of that triangular position there, you can come up off the
We
bottom
really
rail.
need to tell us straighter. I would.
Yeah, Nima actually said that he's got a little drawing tool, but that's just too much for me. Wow, what a hero shot from Ricky Torres. That was incredible.
That was a great shot.
That could be a match-winning shot right here. Is now he has the same angle on the 9. He just rolls this up. Oh my goodness.
Wow, and that would have been in right there. But okay, Rob.
Now,
Rob, realize how lucky you are.
Yes.
And make the most of this opportunity.
Rob is almost forced to take the 4 ball here. He's got to go for first. Rather unfortunate for Ricky there, is after such a beautiful shot, he kind of got ahead of himself, was looking ahead too far. Does play this dead weight speed. He's able to hold the 2. Now the problem is there is angle.
There is angle, so you can't hold for the 6.
I think he's got to play it basically as soft as he just hit that shot.
Yeah, like do you fancy slow spinning it?
I would play a little bit of
right spin?
right hand spin to catch the rail.
Low right.
Yeah.
Just stick there.
Yeah, low right would be an option.
Very difficult shot to play at that distance.
And he was trying to hold for the 6 and ended up missing the 2. Now I think the 9 is cuttable, and you would naturally run into the 14. Question is, how hard do you hit it? Looks like
Don't plant. Yeah, make sure you hit it full.
you got to
Don't
hit full
plant it.
ball, which he does. Does he
But
get?
the
Does he
cue
get
ball's
vision?
trapped, yeah.
Does he get vision? I do not think so.
Yes.
I do not think so.
Very playable though with the jump cue. Jump cues are allowed, correct?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The only problem is you're on an off angle into a side pocket. That's basically the hardest
Yeah.
jump shot you can try and make, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But with the 8 so available, I like really you don't fancy any sort of kick that has a future here.
All right, Ricky is getting his jump
Yeah,
cue.
Ricky's going for the short cue. Sometimes you're whatever. It looks bad, but you have to do it.
He'll just jump in.
Oh, but you can't foul like that.
Valiant effort, but we do have a foul. Ball in hand for Rob.
Wow, and with this 3-ball clearance, Rob pulls a little bit closer. It's 3 balls. I'm sorry, 3 games rather.
Yeah, still a lot of work to do here, but
Yeah, it's still a lot of work, man.
you got to
but
start with 1.
You have to be happy you have the pulse. I mean,
Yeah.
so a lot of people know this about the both of us, that we're both very, fanatic chess players. And
I don't know about both of us, but
well, at least one of us. And,
Yes.
So, former world champion Vishy Anand from India, like he was down in the world championship match against Magnus Carlsen. Ultimately, he ended up losing the match, but he was able to make it competitive by saying, "Look, I just take it 1 game at a time because it's the only realistic thing you can do." Just be happy you're alive. Now, I really don't like the way he's played that shot.
no,
with
he
ball
got
in hand.
he
too.
got real timid on the 2 ball and was unable to dig it back, I guess. I mean, it was a rather poor shot, and now he's left himself with a very long distance semi-cut, possible scratch. A lot of things can happen on this 8 ball.
I think he should be fine just with some topspin.
Yeah,
just play it. Just play it at a good speed.
He makes sure
level
to
out.
indicate the pocket. Looks like he's playing a little bit of draw here.
Keep your head still.
Plays it smooth and makes it right down the middle of the pocket. And he stays alive. It is a 6-3 match score.
And now it's his break. Really, if I were in Rob's corner, I would just tell him, worry about the things that you can't control. So try to control your break, control your cue ball. Maybe even, I don't know, would you think about a different breaking strategy even?
I mean, I honestly, like,
it seemed to be pretty productive on the break. but-
yeah, just go with what you know at this point. You don't want to start
Yeah.
altering your game. 6-3.
So he needs one.
Rob needs 3.
Ricky needs one. Yep.
What's this?
That's not coach, right?
No.
All right. Pretty clean break, but no balls have fallen.
Almost as dry as British humor, but now it looks like in terms of
Almost as dry as an American marrying a Dominican.
Hey.
oh,
Friendly jokes, guys. Friendly jokes for whoever's listening.
so here's an interesting question. Like, so when you don't make any balls on the break, it's called a dry break, right? But if you make 1, maybe 3, 5 balls, is that a wet break now? I've never heard it called a wet break before, but
Never a wet break.
yeah, never. But like, why is one dry and then one is nothing? Like, one is-
Ricky's
should
gone
be-
with
should be a
solids
wet
here.
break.
Are you already had like some shit?
If you make a ball, it's wet.
Yeah, I guess so. So that's the wop, right? When I
So after the 4 ball here, we're looking at what's coming next. The 1 will pass, but you got to be in a real good spot to get there.
I think I'm
And
gonna
even
have
then,
to
your
trademark that.
5 ball is going to kind of squirt away.
That's amazing.
So this is a real delicate touch shot right here.
Not really flirting with the side.
And we all have to thank Ricky for his service. You know, sporting the camo today.
Yeah, you gotta respect.
Yeah, that's like the snow camo.
Snow camo.
So he is able to get that 1 nice and clean. The 5 safely escapes any danger, and this could be an out for Ricky here.
Now a little bit of work though to get on the 6-foot side now. I mean, I
You
think
can-
maybe the 2.
I
nudge
think the
6.
2 you could nudge the 6 over, yeah, with a little bit of draw.
So if he taps the 2, then 5 comes in the corner.
Yeah, we
okay.
like that. We
Yeah,
have
very true.
an option from Stevie Jr. here. He says,
Yes,
if you play the 2 ball nice and slow, you then create the 5 ball in the corner behind the balls here, and that will allow you to then play any option for the 6 or the 7.
5 bodies on the 6 side and run out there.
Definitely.
Whether or not Ricky sees that, we'll find out. I think Ricky's looking at a draw option, maybe running into the 6.
I don't need any compensation for
So Ricky does play the
This is what I was a little bit worried about. Now, is the 6 playable in the side?
the 6 is, but it's very, very delicate.
And now you have to run into this 13 to try to hold.
So it looks like you can see the 7. He's going to play the 7 first.
Yeah, just go into the rail a little bit back out.
That was great pace.
All right,
Now he actually does have the angle to take that 5 shot we were talking before. So if he drags this ball over,
yeah, just punch it over.
if he
Take
drags
it
this
to-
ball over, he's got the 5 in the corner. Although he has not looked at that option yet, so I think he's looking at the 5 in the side, which is doable too. It's a much tighter window.
playable? Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
okay.
make sure you're under the 15 though, which the 6 pretty much already is. So
Okay. Now, is he stuck on this ball?
all right, we got a little masse action. He cleanly hits the 5 and catches a rail, so he avoids a scratch.
Now, how playable is this 8? I mean, again, Rob is just, he still has a
Rob
pulse.
doesn't have any problems here. The 8 obviously is not an ideal making position, but all of his balls are open and makeable.
Yeah, you could use the 9 to like nudge the 5, I believe. I really don't like that shot. But there is maybe a safety option. He doesn't like Ruiz. He could consider to play safe here.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like we've been saying this quite a bit, but he's lost his cue ball, and he's going to be forced to scramble.
This looks pretty safe.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of
Like
tap
he could
tap
protect the
12.
cue ball. Wow. Okay, he was able to do that now. Here, I'm definitely considering to play safe.
Yeah, I think there's no real reward for making that. You can't really make anything else easily. I think he now just realizes that as he stares at the table. So I think we're looking at a safety off of the 12 here.
You have a Type C charger? You have a Type C charger? Hey, Stevie. Can I have one of those?
Yeah, what?
It's Ruiz.
Huh? Oh, truly? Yeah, they're right.
All right, so indeed he plays it safe. I don't believe Ricky has a clean look at this ball.
No, I think he's got to kick at it.
It looks like there's room to possibly kick it into the
You
corner.
could.
but
Obviously, that's a very.
That's taller.
He's looking at maybe the side.
Oh, okay. You could maybe stick him on the 8 somehow, but coming in with that much pace,
Right. I think.
and you have to get a rail too after.
Yeah, he's calling it in the corner. So he's going to try and kick this into the corner.
And
Cross
judging by
corner.
where he was judging, he was looking, shorten it up, but I don't know if he missed that by much, actually.
Yeah, well, if he needed to come underneath the 5, he missed it completely over the top. So he needed a lot more spin on that or more angle.
I was considering to play it with some left spin to hold it up off the rail because he had quite a bit of angle. All right, now
All
here.
right, so Rob's having a little bit of a think. How do I get out here?
Okay, so now what would you consider to use a 9 right now, or take care of this soldier down there below? I kind of like this.
Yeah, I was advocating before when you got balls on different sides of the table, you usually like to eliminate one side so you're not having to go back and forth.
Yeah, that's
a little
more of
different here, as
yeah.
you got more of a central and an end, but
Yeah, that's true.
the idea is if you get that floater out of there, now everything's kind of consolidated into one area.
Yeah. Okay, plays for a breakout right now,
He
but
does.
really doesn't.
I mean, he eventually needed to because that 8 was always going to be tough. I think there's another safety here. I don't think you can see the 10 full. Okay, completely mistaken as that 9 clearly went.
All right, but losing control of the cue ball
Once again, losing the cue ball. But
I mean, and that's the thing too. Like ball in hand really needs to be respected because that's the best shape you're going to get is ball in hand. And,
Exactly.
And how often too have we missed position like with ball in hand?
Exactly.
But that's why it really needs to be respected. And that's why I'm sure in your training, in my training, like that's a huge emphasis to, because you can make it easy on yourself with ball in hand.
safe has been declared, so no matter what after this shot, Ricky will be at the table.
All right, now he should be able to get the snooker. I think he's got it. Off the 10.
Ricky can definitely see the ball.
Oh, he can see
yeah,
it.
he can see it for sure. Now, what he can do with it, I'm not sure. I might be looking at another cross bank attempt. There is an option to just kind of float the cue ball down to the bottom rail, come back up and try and hide behind the 8.
Are you sure? Can he hit it? Can he get a full enough contact on that ball to?
Yeah.
It looks like he
yeah,
could. Yeah,
so
definitely.
he can skim the 5. I don't think he called the ball, so
Yeah.
we're going to find out what he's trying here.
Okay, tried one pocket shot, but this is quite
not
productive.
Not the worst result.
Yeah, quite productive to have the cue ball on the rail. I mean, in chess we have a saying: in a bad position, all moves are bad. So really, the only thing you can do is just try to make your opponent's shot very difficult.
We got a shout out for Rob to get it together and try and win. So we have at least a fan of Rob's on the stream here.
Okay, play another safe interest.
It's the right shot. It's the right shot. You jam him up. However, Ricky's at the table. You never know what can happen here. So
Yeah, and you could. I mean, yeah. The problem is though this time, even if you can leave the cue ball on the end rail, the 12 is so available.
Yeah, the 12 is now a real handy escape option, regardless of where the cue ball ends up. I think Ricky just has to go for a cut shot and just hope he makes it. I mean, there's really no other option. There's no safety he can play back.
If he was able to kick it soft, it'd be kind of nice to catch a piece of the 5 coming in and then just kind of marry the cue ball and the 5 together.
Yeah, that would.
But it's like at this angle, at this distance. I wonder what he's measuring, or is he actually playing for? Could be playing for the mid.
No, he's going to play the kick shot. He's trying to line up the the approach angle.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's got systems and measuring tactics and whatnot. I have one myself, but it's really you're just praying and hoping. It's not like it's an exact.
Well, plus also it's not universal too with table conditions. You know.
All right, that actually helps a ton. Although he didn't make anything, he tied up Rob's 2 remaining balls.
Now it looks like the 10 will go on the side.
The 10 will go, yes. So you got to hold this position off the 12. It is because of the angle, though. You might have to take this 2 rails. It might be difficult to
going forward with 2 rails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if he plays this with pace, that's clearly the objective. So he slow rolls it, and
but it ends up quite thin. I mean,
yeah, it is a thin cut.
Is he playable? Is it playable into the corner? Okay, now you have to control your secondary object ball here.
Looks short, and it is.
Okay, but now.
So if I was Ricky here, I would actually play safe on this one. I would hit the left side of the 5, send the cue ball 2 rails to the bottom underneath the 8 ball, because there's really no benefit to Ricky making this 5. If he makes the 5, the cue ball comes back to the back end of the table, and you can't see the 8. So I don't think there's any reward for making this 5.
Quite thin, definitely. I mean, you could play it with some top inside, like.
Okay. Maybe I was completely wrong. That was a beautiful shot. He's got the 8 straight on the side. I think it's time for a break.
Definitely. I mean, what a dramatic match. I mean,
yeah, it really has been.
The
There it is. Ricky Torres is your other finalist. He will be playing Eddie Balderas very shortly in the final for a winner-take-all $1,000 prize.